video, I really wanted to go over the concept of divine counterparts, twin flames, the reason why we have this expression in terms of our dualistic universe, what it means if you feel you're on that journey, just a little bit of information about everything to do with the journey. So first of all, if you are on this sort of, I guess, search, or if you have always felt that there was another half of you that you were meant to find. And again, I want to be really clear, it is not actually the other half of you. You are completely 100% whole. This is the blueprint of your soul. So your soul has a specific and unique frequency in which it was created, or harmonic, okay? And you divided this one soul that you are or you were, because it's not really a past tense thing. You are this right now. But the division was created as a mechanism of learning the highest expression of love, or the mirror of love, okay? And of course, that mirror is divine love. So you, again, you will know if you are on this journey or if you incarnated for this reason. I knew that I had this, I don't want to say mission, but I knew that I had this path from being a very small child. Like even before I was verbally able to understand language, the dreams and the mental imagery that I experienced was very much about finding this other part of me, if that makes sense. And in terms of the fact that I can remember so clearly my early childhood memories, again, is something that is part of my life plan or my life path. But I've always had a very deep remembrance of even very, very early childhood memories. Before I could even speak, I remember very clearly the whole sequence of my entire journey, like in great detail, like down to exactly what clothes were hanging in my mother's closet when I was laying there as a baby, what the wallpaper looked like, what the carpet looked like, what people were saying. And again, it's strange for me to think about it, at this stage of the game, that I could remember all of these things, but it definitely has a purpose. And circling back to some of my early childhood images, okay, that I feel are relevant. And I'm only sharing these stories because, again, it's meant to affirm maybe some of the things that you may be going through that you feel are a little bit strange or don't fit into what is talked about in normal society. And I definitely don't think it's strange. I think it's very interesting, and I think it's part of the journey. So when I was very young, I experienced a scene that was basically played over and over and over to me, of being in a desert. So I was in this desert landscape, and I was always searching for this boy, essentially. It was like I can't really describe it, but it was just, I would see this little person in the distance, and I would always be searching to try to figure out a way to get to this other individual that was in this dream. And sometimes the dream would be, again, very strange in terms of almost like these, like tubes. Like I almost experienced it like a slide, like a really intricate water slide. But again, the whole purpose was to find the person that was also on this water slide. Weird. I mean, it wasn't a water slide. It was like this tubule kind of reality, I think, is the best way to describe it. But why I'm sharing it is because, I mean, it is so crazy. It is so weird. And it's something that I experienced. And it was this knowing or this directive that I had from such a young conscious level that this was part of my journey, is to find this person. And when I was younger, I was like, it gave me a lot of heartache, like as a young person. And I hadn't really even understood what I was feeling. I just had this magnetic pull that this was a seeking or a search that I was meant to go on. And again, you will know if this is something that is embedded into your journey. You will just know it. And it's not necessarily going to make sense. And it certainly is not logical. Nothing about it is going to line up in a logical way in terms of the way that you're feeling. And hence where you have to surrender. You have to surrender to the fact that it is kind of a confusing journey, and that part of it is that you have to learn to trust your own intuition, and you're actually learning to trust what your heart is feeling more than what society tells you is correct, what your family tells you is correct, what your logical linear mind tells you is correct. And again, it's a very complex journey. So I want to talk more about the why. Okay, so why was the universe designed this way? Or why do we all have a divine counterpart? Are we all on this search? Is it something that eventually everybody will have? Or is everybody that's incarnated going to identify in this way? Okay, so first of all, the why. Why was this experience even created? So essentially, the creator of all things, that energy which allows the out manifesting of things, desired to know the expression of the love energy that it felt. So the creator, the source of everything, which is that energy, that quantum field, holds such a high vibration of love and bliss, which allows it to create. And as it creates, it splinters itself off in a way, because you cannot be away from God. You cannot be separate from God. You are always in the field or in the spirit. So what you are is an offshoot of that one original source specific to this universe. Okay, I don't want to talk about other universes. I'm just going to talk about this universe in this particular video. But the desired goal was to experience in an infinite number of ways what this high vibrational love would experience as, the experience of it. And it needs its mirror, or it needs its other to mirror it back to itself in order to have that experience. Not that it, and I don't want to say in order to, because of course you can experience unconditional love and divine love in unity consciousness and in oneness. But when we divide, when we have that division, we get to tangibly have that expression of what we are mirrored back to us. And that again is the divine counterpart. That is the design of divine love that spirit has splintered off into all of its beingness. This this fracturing of, and fracturing not to be taken in a negative connotation, but just the division of divine essence into all beingness will show up in an infinite number of ways. So animals, all of the life forms you see, obviously they all come in too. They all experience an expression of, or an experience of divine love mirrored in the other. And the expressions are vastly different. Sometimes we soar like eagles. Sometimes we are jumping as dolphins in the sea. Sometimes we are galloping across the open plains as a horse. And these are all experiences and expressions of divine love. And they are experienced through a different lens, a different body, a different incarnation. Okay? And that is a mechanism of spirit learning through us, through our aliveness. And so, question number 2, does each and every human being incarnated experience this divine counterpart search or journey? No, they don't, because sometimes souls are so, they're in the karmic cycle. They might be very young souls. Usually you get to the point of incarnating to find your divine counterpart when you're on one of your very last lifetimes. Now I'm going to put a caveat to this. There are times when divine counterparts will incarnate with a joint mission, and it's still karmically based, if that makes sense. They're still on their journey within the karmic cycle, and it is not their last lifetimes, but they've decided, for whatever reason, for whatever lessons that they're learning, that yes, they're going to incarnate at the same time. And there are many lifetimes where your mirror soul, or that soul that shares the exact same divine blueprint as you, is not going to be incarnating where you are incarnating. And you can incarnate on multiple different planets, in multiple different forms, all over the universe. So again, there is so many different opportunities for learning and growth. And so and the other thing too, is that you will intuitively know. If you know that you are on one of your last lifetimes, it will be absolutely crystal clear within your consciousness. You will know without a shadow of a doubt. It's something like, for myself, I know that I am not coming back to this particular planet again. It's just something that I have known from a very young age. And that's a strange thing to say. I never thought I'd really talk about that, specifically not publicly, but I'm at a stage now where I'm comfortable talking about it. It doesn't make me feel nervous to speak about these things, and hopefully it can give guidance to some other individuals that may be experiencing these things. So again, if you are here as that divine counterpart, if you're expressing it as that, you will know. You usually will have known from a very early age, and you will know if you are here to help, and that it's something where you want to come back to Earth, or you really feel that this is your home and you want to stay for as long as possible. And you will also know if you are ready to go to another octave of existence and you are done with earthly incarnations. And usually if you are done with your earthly incarnations, you will have all of your karmic elements wrapped up in this lifetime. So you will be working very, very hard to clear any of your past karma, and you will start to know when you are not holding any karmic ties inside of you. It will just become very, very evident to your soul's expression and the lightness that you feel as well once you're done that portion of your journey.